Hello, my name is Roman Shirley here at JTech today. I'm going to be showing you how to, or I'm going to be talking about the ignition system. I'm going to show you how to check spark. I'm going to tell you how the ignition system works, and that's about it. Alright, now to start, I'm going to explain a little bit about the ignition system, what it does, how it works. First, you're going to name some components. You got the battery to start off, which is in the primary circuit. And then you have the ignition coil, which there's two separate coils in there. There's the primary coil, and then there's the secondary. And then what happens is you get voltage from the battery, sends it to the coil, and then it goes through the first coil, and then it steps up to the second coil, which goes from battery voltage, which is around 12 volts, up to thousands of volts. And then it comes through and it comes up to these coils here, and the voltage comes through, and then these coils are attached to a spark plug. Spark plug is threaded into the head, which that's the ground. And what happens is when the voltage goes through the spark plug, it has to jump the gap from the end of the spark plug. It jumps from the electrode to the actual hook on the end of the spark plug, and the air gap in between is all the resistance on this kind of circuit. Alright, first we're going to test spark with this little tool right here. What you want to do is you want to find a good ground for this. We're going to use right here. But first you want to put it in the coil that you are testing. And then put it here.
Yeah, when mirror suspension, we got Mr. Allen the first time.
Alright, and then now what we're going to do is we're going to have someone start it, and we're going to check here and see the distance of the spark. Just be sure when you're doing this test not to lean on the car, not to touch the engine or anything, just so you don't shock yourself. Alright, and as you can see, how the spark, it was steady, it wasn't erratic, it wasn't changing its intensity or anything, and it had a pretty good distance to it, and that is one way that you can test the spark. Another way is you can take and put a screwdriver in this coil and then ground the screwdriver out to metal, and then you can test the spark that way. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take out the spark plug and do a visual inspection, check the gap. What you're going to need is a ratchet and a spark plug socket. You want to make sure that once you get it loosened up, you can go ahead and take the ratchet off and just twist it out by hand. You're going to use this tool right here to check the gap in between the
this is our first
gap right here.
We work in 3 different phases. The first phase will be here, where you're learning the different components. This is mainly engines. So you're learning how they work. You're learning how to build them, how to break them down. You're learning different parts and components to them. Then you got your training aid, and now you're putting it actually on an actual component. Once you've learned that and you kind of mastered that, now you're working on a live vehicle. So now you're being able to put the engine.
Okay, so the gap here is on the side the 1.02 millimeters, and you have to make sure that when you do the visual inspection, that it doesn't look real dirty. If it's real black from carbon buildup, that means it's running rich, and then if it's white, then that's excessive heat, and that means it's really lean. And either of these conditions can foul out the spark plug. It can make it to where it's non-operational or where it's misfiring. And if the gap is too large, or if the diode there is actually damaged, then you're going to have to replace it. Alright, now when you're putting it back in, you never want to start it with a tool. You always want to start it by hand. So here, I'm going to use this. Slide it down in there. Because you don't want to cross thread it and damage the threads. Then you will not be able to actually put it back in and get it out right. It'll always fight you. Okay. Once you get it down, you always want to torque it to specs. You never use any power tools because you'll end up damaging something. And this is going straight into the head, into the combustion chamber. So if you damage something there, you're pretty much going to have to replace the entire head.